Here are key players in the Ministry of Justice and other legal practitioners in Asaba seated to receive training on the national minimum standards for the implementation of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and laws, a framework designed to promote efficiency, transparency, and fairness in the handling of criminal cases across Nigeria. The event, organized by the Center for Legal Studies in collaboration with MacArthur Foundation, drew participants from the bench, the bar, law enforcement, and human rights groups who engaged in robust discussions on aligning state-level laws with the provisions of the national framework. President of the Center for Socio-Legal Studies, represented by the Executive Assistant, Oyinloye Okpajobi, took the legal practitioners through the national minimum standard required for the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and laws.
The essence of the national minimum standards in relation to the ACJL is to ensure that there is a minimum standard for implementing these laws across the country. Now, during the presentation, part of what we talked about with the stakeholders is that there are different laws, criminal laws, across different states in the country, and that is not right, because what is obtainable in some states is not obtainable in other states, and we can't say we have a fair justice delivery sector if a crime is punished differently in one place and the same exact crime is going to be punished differently in another state. So what the national minimum standard does is that it makes a minimum baseline. Like Milord here mentioned, said it's a minimum, so we can do more than this, but this should be the expected minimum across the country. So what we're doing now is just to populate these documents, make people aware that this is the minimum. You can definitely go above this, but do not go beneath this standard.
Chairman, Administration of Criminal Justice Committee in the state, Justice Godwin Okolosi, in his goodwill message, examined the minimum standard for the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and laws.
When a person leaves custody and he has no, in fact, some of them we've seen in the past, they have no money to leave the custodial center. They are confused, they don't even know where to go. If they had issues at home before, they don't know whether to, if they go home, they will still receive them. Then that means we must create another buffer. At the level of the ACJA, we've talked about community service. I reminded the Attorney General again that we need to do something about this. So that then, of course, if we need this, the correctional service will be correctional, then something proper will be done.
Participants and directors in the Ministry of Justice gave their take-home from the workshop.
I want to believe that Administration of Criminal Justice Law and Act, they are still work in progress. It is not complete yet, but we are making progress. We are getting closer. Why do I say that it's not yet complete? I say so because it has laid foundation for a quick dispensation of justice, and there are still some area we are looking at that has not been covered. The area I'm talking about is what happens to defendants that has been discharged to go home. This law has not really addressed it adequately, because most of the people who have defended, they come back again as criminals or as defendants.
National minimum standard is a collation of all the, will I say, essential or salient provisions of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act and law. You know, we cannot condense the entire provisions of the law, but gradually they pick out the very essential aspects of them, then we'll come and appraise how far we have gone with them. And where there are gaps, okay, let me give an instance. Like in Delta State now, we do remand proceedings at the High Court. But most states, even at the FCT, their remand proceedings is done at the Magistrate Court. But we have gone a step ahead.
In the law, it is said that a legal advice should be made ready by the Ministry of Justice within 15 days. But I can tell you here, because as the director who is in charge of that legal advice, we give our legal advice within 4 to 5 days. And then information is filed within 15 days in court. As a testament to that, we have also gone ahead to ensure that no inmate stays in the Korea Center beyond necessary time.
As a custodian, ours is basically implementation. When you look critically at the role of Nigerian Correctional Service vis-a-vis the court and Ministry of Justice, ours would depend and rely on the courts. Once an inmate comes into the facility with a legal warrant from a court of competent jurisdiction, the issue of administration of criminal justice law is targeted at awaiting trial persons. Is that okay? So, after arraignment, this person is remanded. And when this person is remanded, the next thing is for us to wait for a legal advice.
The workshop had group discussions where stakeholders deliberated on the topic of the day and how to ensure quick dispensation of justice. With the adoption of these minimum standards, stakeholders believe the criminal justice system in Delta State and Nigeria at large will be more responsive, transparent, and fair. In Asaba, Susan Esu, NTA News.